Hi, and welcome to another edition of Dollar Box Dumpster Dive. With me, I'm going to talk to you about the best comics that you can buy for $1 or less. Thank you for watching this video when you could have been watching a video where one of those videos where the racist dad is wearing Oakleys and he's sitting in his car talking about people not standing for the national anthem or whatever. But instead of watching that, you're watching me talk about crummy old comics. Or actually not crummy old comics, good old comics that are treated like crud, but they shouldn't be. Hopefully these videos will go viral, but if that happens, the prices might go up. Sorry about that. But as of right now, these are comics you can generally find in a dollar bin. And today we're actually going to talk about a great little Marvel gem from the mid-90s called Marvel Universe. This short box is packed pretty tight. And Marvel Universe was it was an experimental series from this really wonderful period in Marvel that was really kind of after their darkest period. Creatively, financially, this is during the bankrupt, where everything that they put out was kind of bad. With a few exceptions, but it's at this point that they're starting to get up. Now, a good key for good Marvel comics, and this is around 1998. This is right after, this is sort of around the era of Heroes Return. This is right after the Heroes Reborn experiment of farming out everything to Rob Liefeld and company kind of crashed and burned. And the Image experiment didn't work at Marvel. So because of that, they're going to this really back to basics approach, this celebration of Marvel history. And this book that we're going to talk about today really didn't exist for any other reason but to celebrate that history. And it's called Marvel Universe. Not a very eye-catching title, perhaps, but it's a really wonderful little book. It's something that you can find, that I've seen in literally just about every dollar box. When you go to a flea market, you see a bunch of short boxes, a bunch of long boxes. You'll probably be able to find one or two of these. I don't know why they're everywhere, but it just seems like they are. And just a tip, really good Marvel comics, late 90s Marvel comics. If you see this kind of gatefold cover that they have, oh, it was such a good little couple years at Marvel. And basically, as you could see from this insert, or this gatefold, I guess that's the term, gatefold. This is a series about the history of the Marvel Universe. And the first 3 issues are about the first great super team of the Marvel Universe, and that would be the Invaders. And these Invaders issues, it focuses on the 3 main: Cap, original Human Torch, the robot, and Namor, the Submariner. Now, Namor is going to get his own episode of Dollar Box because Namor is the king of the Dollar Box. You could find old issues of Namor. Pretty much the only thing you're not going to find in Namor's in the Dollar Boxes is his first appearance in 1939. His DC equivalent would be Hawkman. Hawkman, king of the Dollar Box. Namor, Prince of Atlantis, king of the Dollar Box. So this story is about the Invaders fighting Nazis, which is kind of what the Invaders tended to do. And it really ties it in to the Marvel Universe at large. You get these really good retellings of the origin of Namor, and especially the original Human Torch, Jim Hammond. And really good Cap. It's written by one of the great Captain America writers of all time, Roger Stern, who, for my money, probably has written more good Marvel comics than anyone. And I really do believe that. I think if you took the Bendis, Stan Lee, all of those guys, I think Stern's got them beat. Massive runs on Amazing Spider-Man that are legendary. Legendary Captain America run. Legendary Avengers run. legendary Doctor Strange run. And this was, those were kind of his 80s glories, and this was kind of his, where they put him, because he was an old guy in 98. But this is a really wonderful little miniseries that really kind of ties the Invaders into it. I mean, the Eternals show up, the great scenes of Namor ripping up stuff, and it's drawn by who's one of the, to me, someone whose art, in my opinion, sums up that really good early 2000s Marvel era more than anybody, is Steve Epting. This was kind of a big tryout for Steve Epting too. So Steve Epting does the art, and it's really, really good. And Steve Epting, of course, would later go on to the greatest Captain America run of all time with Ed Brubaker. So this, you get to see two of the great Cap comic makers, Roger Stern and Steve Epting, working together, telling this really wonderful Golden Age story that's got, like I said, Namor, Human Torch, the Eternals in it, Hydra, really good, kind of echoes of Secret Empire in there, but really wonderfully drawn, wonderfully written. Even the coloring's good. So that's the first 3 issues of Marvel Universe. Now, the second part of it is a little bit different. It's 4 issues, and that's all the book lasted. It was just 7 issues. And that's Stern and Mike Manley takes over for art. And we go from the Golden Age to the 50s. We go to the Where Monsters Dwell era, the Atlas era. And Mike Manley draws in this really good kind of Bruce Timm-esque style. And the major characters in this are Ulysses Bloodstone, Dr. Druid, Zawadi, who's one of the Dora Milaje, and the Mole Man, Harvey Elder. And the fact that those are your leads doesn't make you want to read these comics. I don't know what does. I mean, and with all the attention that the Dora Milaje, who are now these major pop culture characters because of the movie, this is just something that's, 20 years old, where we can see them kind of kicking ass before sort of the mainstream world knew how ass-kicking they were. And this has some of the classic Marvel monsters in it. I don't remember, but they all have monster names like Droom. But one of the main ones is Gorgilla. Gorgilla is a great Kirby monster from the monster era. And this is really just a series that I can't recommend enough. Like I said, whole run, $7 or less for the whole thing, and it is so well spent. And like I said, one of the reasons that I'm doing this video series is I don't know if these are things which are ever going to get collected, and they really should, because they're really special, especially this. And it's really kind of disappointed. And after you read these 7 issues, you'll agree that, man, if they let Stern and a new artist do like Fantastic Four in the 60s, do like 70s Disillusioned Captain America era, and just sort of toured the whole history of the Marvel Universe, that really would have been something special. But unfortunately, all we got is 7 issues. But fortunately, those 7 issues are great, and you can get them all for about $1 a book. So until next time, see ya and keep digging.